Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. And hey now. Tiger Woods announced as transportation secretary for the Trump administration. I just saw that meme. That's not true. Don't take that as true. God, people are putting memes of Miss Doubtfire and all kinds of stuff up now.
Oh no! Oh yes.
It's crazy. What a story, man! What a story. Christy Gnome's bimbofication husband. It's just so weird. It's so weird. Chris says Christy Gnome's husband gay.
Why? Why is he gay?
Why are you gay? Sean said, "Did you ever get to the bottom of that Tupperville stock market commercial y'all are running?" Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just one of Tupperville's opponents running it. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hadn't really looked into it. Let's see. Richard the Cobb says, "Talk about a big boob." He says, "Bro, whatever happened to just going to Craigslist and hooking up with random females, and you didn't have to worry about if they were females?"
Oh gosh.
Jerry says, "If Christy Nome was my old lady, I would want to get into her panties as much as I could."
Oh my gosh.
So I can't blame him. I blame who? I don't know that they were. Well, I don't know. We're not going to speculate.
Well, she's quite fetching.
Yeah, I mean, she's attractive, but just a weird story. Hey, I do want to get into that press conference that y'all heard Leland playing yesterday from the FBI confirming the Michigan synagogue shooter attacker was inspired by Hezbollah terrorists. And shocking. It is another example of a naturalized citizen turned terrorist. And how many more are here in this country, I think, is the question that needs to be asked. Detroit FBI special agent in charge dropped the bombshell at a press conference yesterday, declaring that the March 12th ramming attack on Temple, Israel, was in West Bloomfield Township was a clear act of terrorism motivated by Hezbollah's militant ideology. She said, "Based on the evidence gathered to date, we assess this attack to be a Hezbollah-inspired act of terrorism purposely targeting the Jewish community and the largest Jewish temple in Michigan." The FBI defines terrorism as a violent criminal act by an individual who is inspired by or associated with a designated terrorist organization. We do not take this characterization lightly without thorough review and keen evaluation of the facts. In this case, the evidence shows the attacker was motivated and inspired by Hezbollah's militant ideology. She continued to say, although the assailants' attack planning and mobilization to violence began in earnest on March 9th, which I will fully detail here shortly, a review of his online activity since January of 26 revealed a recurring search history of pro-Hezbollah news channels, Iranian news channels, and videos about shootouts and bullets. So she goes through the whole thing, and you all heard it. It was fascinating to listen to. The attacker was identified as 41-year-old Iman Mohammed Ghazali. Ghazali, a Lebanese national who first entered the U.S. in 2011 on a IR-1 immigrant visa as the spouse of a U.S. citizen. He was naturalized as a U.S. citizen in 2016 during the Obama administration. Ghazali rammed his pickup truck loaded with gasoline, fireworks, and explosives into Temple, Israel, exchanging gunfire with security, and ultimately died by suicide after his vehicle caught fire. Ghazali was no stranger to terror ties. His brother, Ibrahim Mohammed Ghazali, was a Hezbollah commander killed in an Israeli airstrike just days before the attack. Because that's the thing, too, is they went through and he was posting pictures of his brother and his family members that had been killed in airstrikes in the days before, in the lead up to his attack. And it was all there. I think he had multiple social media accounts that he was posting this stuff on. And it's just, again, begs the question of how many Obama naturalized citizens that are terrorists do we have in this country? And they could be, they could be terrorists or inspired by terrorists, but not act until some action happens, some instance happens over in the Middle East with Operation Epic Fury, and then they go on the attack. And that's why it's that much more important to be funding the people that keep this country safe, to be able to get people out of this country that don't belong here. Because it's we're dealing with a dangerous set of people. The Islamic extremists all over the world are incredibly dangerous people who have no regard for human life. They do not place value on human life. You are disposable to these people. And God knows how many are in this country today just waiting for that day to snap and just go off and do something like we saw. Outside of that, we had what was a bombshell defense filing in the Charlie Kirk shooter case. This is crazy right here. And for anybody that's said to themselves, as we've said on the show many times, the Charlie Kirk shooting doesn't make a lot of sense. The defense, Tyler Robinson's defense team, is now filing that the ATF cannot identify the bullet that was found in Charlie Kirk and match it with the accused rifle. Hear me out. So the ATF is saying, we've got the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk. We've got the rifle that we've said was used to shoot Charlie Kirk, and the bullet is not matching the rifle. Here we go.
Oh, man.
So what does that mean? Does that mean, what? I don't know. Remember, we were told Charlie Kirk's bones were so strong, and that's why there wasn't an exit wound, which everybody thought there should be. Were the bones, Charlie Kirk's bones, so strong that it deformed the bullet to where it's unrecognizable and you can't match it to the Tyler Robinson firearm? We don't know. Court filing by Tyler Robinson's defense on Friday reveals the ATF has not been able to identify the bullet recovered in the autopsy of Charlie Kirk with the rifle allegedly used in the September 10th shooting at Utah Valley University. Kirk was reportedly killed instantly by a single rifle shot that tore through his upper body and ripped open the cardiac artery. What do they call it? Carotid artery. Carotid artery in his neck. While not definitive, because the bullet, as I said, could have been misshapen from the shooting, until it is resolved, the claim by the defense will fuel concerns about the circumstances of Kirk's murder and whether Robinson was the actual shooter. Yeah, I'd say so. It's probably worth watching Candace Owens' podcast this afternoon.
Man, if it's the deep state, we'll never figure it out.
Here's what the Daily Mail says about it. The bullet that killed conservative commentator Charlie Kirk did not match the rifle used by suspected killer Tyler Robinson. According to a new filing, Robinson, 22, is facing capital murder charges and a potential death sentence for Kirk's murder at Utah Valley University. But his defense attorneys now argue that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives was unable to identify the bullet recovered at autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson. The defense team may now offer the ATF firearm analyst testimony as exculpatory evidence, they said in a motion filed on Friday to push the preliminary hearing back at least 6 months. It also notes the DNA reports filed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and ATF will take time for the defense team to analyze because reports indicate that several different DNA were found on some items of evidence. Okay. So not only do we can't match the bullet to the firearm, but we have other people's DNA on the evidence. What evidence?
What?
On the rifle? We don't know. Fox News further reported on the defense's court filing, saying attorneys for Tyler Robinson have revealed who prosecutors intend to call to the stand, and also asked the court to delay the preliminary hearing, which is set for, I think, May 18th. States that prosecutors intend to call Robinson's parents and his roommate and romantic partner, Lance Twiggs, to testify at the preliminary hearing. Remember, Lance Twiggs, which is the trans boyfriend, just up and disappeared. Never got any sort of information or statement or anything from that individual. Robinson's defense team is also asking a judge for a minimum 6-month delay for the preliminary hearing. Robinson's defense team said that the defense attorneys received over 600,000 files from prosecutors during a meeting on March 12th, which she says will take time to review. She also noted that the discovery isn't complete yet. They said one of the defense's experts, a forensic biologist, said she'd need 6 months to review evidence. Early in the case, prosecutors filed an alleged text message chain between Robinson and his alleged male transgender lover, Lance Twiggs, in which he confessed to the shooting, which I thought was weird. The whole text exchange just didn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's revisit it real quick, just real quick.
Okay.
Robinson says, "Drop what you are doing. Look under my keyboard." This is right after Charlie Kirk is shot, right? When the roommate looked under the keyboard, there was a note that allegedly read, quote, "I had the opportunity to take Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." The roommate responds, "What?" with a bunch of question marks. "You're joking, right?" Robinson says, "I'm still okay, my love, but am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Lance Twiggs says, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson says, "I am. I'm sorry." The roommate says, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson says, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Lance Twiggs says, "Why?" Robinson says, "Why did I do it?" Twiggs says, "Yeah." Robinson says, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." He said, "If I am unable to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence." Oh, that's just a repeat. The roommate says, "How long have you been planning this?" Robinson says, "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't even know if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find it. They don't find prints. How the blank will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel." He said, "Remember how I was engraving bullets? The bleep messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge on Fox News, I might have a stroke." He's joking around at this point. He says, "All right, I'm going to have to leave it. That really blanking sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think it was a $2,000 scope." Winky face. Robinson then says, "Delete this exchange." Then he responds again. This is just back-to-back messages. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it is very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Why is that not something that you've told Lance Twiggs before? That your dad's pretty diehard MAGA since Trump got elected in 2016?
I'm speechless.
Anyway, that's all. That's old. That's the text messages are old. Like, I'm not giving you guys anything new, but what is
Right.
new is the fact that the bullet, according to the defense, the ATF can't identify the bullet that was found in Charlie Kirk and can't match it to the rifle. And so, where does that go? Does that mean anything? I don't know. Maybe that means nothing. Maybe the bullet got so mangled in Charlie's body that that's why they can't identify it. But it just adds to the longer list of questions that we have about Charlie Kirk's assassination that we have not gotten answered. So here we are, seemingly back at square one, which shouldn't come as any sort of surprise, seeing the fact that we had to have a trial for Tyler Robinson and are going to likely get more information that doesn't match up with the initial reports or the initial explanation we were given by federal authorities in all of these investigations. 205-545-9950. Man, we are on a roll, my friend. How do we keep doing that?
I don't know. There's no gray E. I wish those bands would stop it right now, bands out there, if you're listening.
I just
Put a gray square with an E in the middle.
What's the name of that song? Paralyzer?
Yes, Paralyzer by Finger 11.
I can't find it on the list, though.
I'm looking at it right here.
I don't see any Finger 11 songs to take it off. Oh, well. Well, if I'll look further. Am I looking? Yeah, I'm looking at the line. I think I might have had it on there at one time, but I thought I had an edited version of it. But anyway, at least we're catching them, right?
Yes, we are, man. I am ready to roll, man. I've got it covered.
Deep South Construction Pros bringing you this part of the show. What does Deep South Construction Pros do? Well, they professionally get you squared away on your basement waterproofing, your crawl space encapsulation, foundation issues. All of this kind of ties in together. But if you got any kind of issues with your home like that, these are your guys. That's what we try to do. We try to cover you from top to bottom, whether it's your roof or down below, or you got water pooling up in your yard that you think might be leaking in your house. Deep South Construction Pros, they got you covered, man. Right here in Alabama, Alabama roots, man. A local impact these guys are making, and that's what I love about them. And as I always say, they take pride in that. They're not some chain that sends our money elsewhere. It gets invested back into the community, back into the state of Alabama. And we need that, man. We need that in this state more than ever because Alabama's in the business of shooting ourselves in the foot when it comes to generating tax revenue. I don't know if you know that. But thank God for the guys over at Deep South Construction Pros. If you got any questions about that stuff, I want you to reach out to them. Make sure you let them know I sent you. That's always the general rule. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the line. But hit them up, ask them any questions you got, or have them come out and give you an assessment, give you a quote, whatever it may be. These guys are the real deal. Here's the number, 256 305 1854. That's 256 305 1854. And online, deepsouthconstructionpros.com. Tom's in Hoover. Tom, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? No, real quick. The clarification on the bullet was it wasn't that they couldn't match the bullet. The bullet was fragmented. So once they're fragmented, you can't match it back, but they can tell you what type of a gun it came from. The only reason I know that is because I have a family member that does ballistics, and they basically were explaining that to me because I said the same thing you guys. I was like, is this, what does this mean? They go, what it meant is the bullet fragmented on impact. They said that's why there was no exit wound. That's why a lot of this other stuff. That's why I'm glad you guys are covering this, and a lot of other people are, because there's so much misinformation out there, and like the Daily Mail, where they're saying certain things, but it's not actually true. So, but I'm with you that I'm glad that they're getting this trial underway, and I'm sorry. I know people love conspiracies, but I don't think anybody besides Tyler Robinson killed this guy, and I think he did it by himself.
Yeah, and it's highly possible. It's it's just one of those things, and that's what. And thank you, Tom, for that call. That's good info. And that's what I was thinking as well. Is it's possible that this bullet was deformed in some way where they can't match it. But the point of all that is the fact that the defense is now going to be able to use that information. 205-545-9950. Mandu bringing you this part of the show. You know, normally my Mandu consists of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, I wasn't able to go yesterday, and I'm not able to go tomorrow. So I'm going today. That's right. I'm going today on a Tuesday. I don't know that I've ever been to Mandu on a Tuesday, John Bird.
I used to go when I was doing 2 times a week. I think I've got to figure out because I want to do some with you if possible.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
You know, but I'm going to go ahead and call today.
Even if I've got to, I need to send you the number.
Yes, you do.
Even if I've got to move my schedule around to be able to work out with you, I'll do it. That's no problem.
Like the old days, man.
Yeah, man. Because you and I, the first time that both of us did Mandu, we did it together. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we should repost the video that we did.
Yeah, we do have video of that. We look like 2 very different people.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to send you Caleb, who's the manager over there.
Yeah.
I am sending you his contact info so you can get you set back up and get Bird over there. Because listen, it's a great opportunity for you to get your health back on track, get back in shape, not just looking better but feeling better. I've told you, you know, there's many aspects to it. You know, you can think about the cosmetic side of it, and you know, getting ready for your swimsuits and hanging out with your shirt off outside for summer and everything else. But also on the doctor side of things, like when you go to the doctor and you get your labs done and your doctor's like, well, you need to work on this, and we might have to give you medication for this. If you will get with Mandu, try it out first of all. That's what I want you to do before you commit to anything. But try it out, and if you like it, if you think it's for you, and I don't care if you're man, woman, 18 or 80 years old, as I always say, it's for everybody. I want you to give it a shot. And I was the one thing that has amazed me the most outside of the obvious change I've seen in my body was when I went to the doctor for the first time I can ever remember getting my labs done and the doctor saying, all your levels are good. Everything's good. I was like, well, no, that can't be right. I've never been told that. I've always told you got high blood pressure. You got this, you got that. And literally he's like, no, you're good. Everything's normal. And I'm like, that's great. He's like, why is it crazy? I said, I'm not used to that. I've never heard a doctor say that to me before. Mandu does wonders for you. I'm not even joking about this. Dead serious. So what I want you to do is I want you to try it out for free. As you know, it's a 15-minute workout with a personal trainer. These guys are awesome. The Homewood location that I go to, the Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, all their different locations, just fantastic. If you want to go to the Homewood one, here's the number, 205-438-6003, 438-6003. But all of the information, including addresses, are on the website, manduu.com, manduu.com. Just make sure when you talk to them and you set up your appointment, tell them Andrew Mclain sent you. Get that free session in. That's the most important part. Get a free session. We're not giving these away for our health. We're giving them away for your health. And so we want you to try it out. I don't want you to commit to anything until you try it and you know that I'm telling you the truth. The true truth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time for the Wheel of Sugboot.
I'm just a kid.
Really, sometimes I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and apparently Grandpa just gives me the remote after we watch the Powerball.
And here it goes. I'm just a kid, and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid.
Apparently,
Love that. It's my favorite meme, probably.
Apparently, Lindsey Graham was at Disney World.
Apparently.
Did you see what he did? So after he took this very homoerotic picture, or he didn't take the picture, somebody else took the picture of him walking around by himself, 70-year-old man by himself in Disney World, holding a little kid's pink bubble wand. It's kind of like, dude, that's which is worse, Ted Cruz going to Cancun while Texas faced an ice storm, or Lindsey Graham going to Disney? I think the
Lindsey Graham by far, yes.
Yeah, I think that one's much worse. It's just so weird. And then after everybody started talking about it, he then posted a picture of him clay shooting out, I guess, somewhere in South Carolina. He's like, love shooting some clay out here in South Carolina. Look at me, I got a gun. It's like, no, dude. First of all, Disney adults, if you don't have kids, should you really be going? I'm just saying. I can almost give you a pass if you're like a newly engaged or newlywed couple and you're in your early 20s and you don't want to go. It's kind of a nostalgia thing. But like 70-year-old single,
how about Universal?
Childless Lindsey Graham. Yeah. Universal Studios is different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Disney World.
Yeah. It's a small world after all.
You guys got to cut that out, man. That just ain't doing it. All right, what's you're just a kid? I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid. And that would listen, that Lindsey Graham story would have worked out perfect for this.
Yes, it would.
How about that? First headline reads, millions of UK phone users locked into child by default mode in age verification debacle. Apple's decision last week to roll out age verification in the UK with iOS and iPad is excluding vast numbers of the UK population who do not own a credit card or drive. Well, sounds like you might need to get one. This has led to online complaints that Apple's classification criteria are at best ill thought out and narrow, and at worst culturally insensitive and ageist. The UK does not have a national ID scheme, and Apple states in its prompts that passports are not accepted, but provides no explanation for this. While around 75% of the adult population holds a driving license, many have let their driving license lapse or have not updated to digital ones. Roughly 65% of the adult population owns a credit card, but many Brits either can't or won't sign up for one due to debt or to avoid getting into debt. Debit cards are generally considered widely accepted alternatives across most payment ecosystems. From March 24th, most users who wish to upgrade will be prompted to verify that they are over 18. They will be invited to do this by scanning their driver's license or credit cards. The only adults excluded from this verification process are those who already have a credit card on file, as they can only be issued to adults, or those who've had their Apple account for longer than 18 years. This situation has led to 60-year-olds to complain that they've been locked into child mode on their phones. As one former BBC producer turned tech equity warrior, Colin Hughes, posted on X, quote, "I'm 60, but since updating to iOS 26.4, I'm struggling to convince Apple that I'm over 18.
Uh-oh.
Another 33-year-old posted a tweet directly to the British Prime Minister stating they were stuck in child mode because they had neither a driving license nor a credit card. Users who had automatic updates enabled, which Apple actively encourages, woke up to the verification prompt with no chance to opt out. For some, this was the last straw. They're switching to security-hardened open-source operating system, Graphene OS, whatever that is. So, basically, old people, just people that don't have a driver's license or a credit card, are now locked into child mode on their iPhones, which probably severely limits what you can do on your iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Because of a new UK law that Apple is complying with.
Man, well, go get a license.
Yeah.
You know,
sounds like that's gonna fix it.
Jeez,
well, it sucks for y'all over in the UK, but that's what happens when you let your government decide what you can and can't look at on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Headline reads, woman who had sex with identical twins told it is not possible to identify the father of the baby.
Oh, dang.
A woman who had relations with identical twins separately within 4 days of each other has been told it's not possible to identify which one is the father of her baby. The mother, who cannot be named for legal reasons, and one of the twins took the case to court after the other brother was named as the father on the child's birth certificate. Wait a minute. So you've got the mom and one of the twins went to court because the other brother was named as the father. So one brother is saying, no, I'm the dad, and the other one's saying, no, I'm the dad. And it's in court now.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're identical twins, does that, I mean, like DNA? I thought everybody had an original DNA.
It says the pair launched the legal action as they wanted to be legally recognized as having parental responsibility for the baby, known as Child P. A family court judge declined to remove the name of the alleged father on the birth certificate, prompting the woman and the other twin to take the case to the Court of Appeal in London. But a panel of judges there have now ruled it is not possible to know for sure who the father is. The court heard that DNA testing could not distinguish which of the men was the father, although scientists may potentially be able to do so in the future. So is their DNA just too close together? But Sir Andrew McFarlane, sitting with Lady Justice King and Lord Justice Stuart Smith, names of these people, did say that the twin on the birth register would no longer have parental responsibility until the court hears further arguments. In a judgment handed down earlier this month, he said, currently the truth of P's paternity is that the father is one or the other of these identical twins, but it is not possible to say which. It is possible, indeed likely, that by the time P reaches maturity, it may be possible for science to identify one father and exclude the other twin, but for the coming time, that cannot be done without very significant cost, and so her truth is binary and not a single man.
Jeez,
Well, just make both of them the dad.
Yeah, or, I mean, you know, flip a coin and see who's going to be the uncle.
Yeah, that's pretty simple.
Yeah, or call him Uncle Daddy. I don't know.
One judge previously found that both brothers had sex with the woman within 4 days of each other in the month when P was conceived, and that it was actually equally likely that each of the brothers is P's father.
Oh, dang. Now we're getting into some science fiction stuff here.
Sir Andrew said that the first twin was not entitled to be registered as the father and that any parental responsibility he had shall cease as a result. So now the kid's got no dad.
Man.
However, the judge added that he
English.
was wholly unpersuaded to declare that the man was not the father either. He said the failure to prove a fact means that the fact is not proved. It does not mean that the contrary is proved.
What? Those English, man. They talk fancy schmancy.
They're stupid. That's all stupid. Just go on Jerry Springer.
Exactly.
How many shows do we have on TV where you can go? You can go to freaking Maury and get this done. Obviously, it's not going to happen in the UK court, but if you go to Maury's show, you can guarantee you'll figure out who the baby daddy is.
Mm-hmm.
And next up, last but not least, headline reads, father and son allegedly banned from donating sperm after fathering hundreds of children.
Oh, man. Oh, this just gets weirder and weirder.
A little father and son time, donating at the sperm bank. NBD.
Dang.
This is out of Canada. A father and son were banned from donating sperm after the pair allegedly fathered over 600 children total, which experts said could pose risk to the children and their families. Yeah, because after 600, you might end up doing an incest willy, not knowing that,
Oh, yeah.
especially if they're all hanging out in Quebec.
Yeah. Well, they should have a limit on it. There's a law.
Yeah.
Because, otherwise, if there's not a law, you can't stop them at 600. They can have 12,000. They have their own army.
It's like, dude, I understand you enjoy polishing the banister, but we're not going to be able to take any more of your product.
Jeez.
According to a lawsuit, According to a lawsuit and court documents obtained by CBC, Quebec Superior Court temporarily instated a ban against a man and his son for donating sperm after they allegedly fathered 450 and 160 children each, although the lawsuit did not specify which man fathered more. The lawsuit was reportedly filed by a woman who had 3 children using sperm from one of the men and a fourth with sperm from the other man. She accused the pair of breaking an agreement in which they would not father more than 25 and 10 children each. According to court documents, the men denied that they agreed to stop donating sperm after a certain amount of children, but acknowledged that they were well above the recommended amount of sperm donations. The judge ruled on March 18th that by exceeding the recommended amount of donations, the 2 men put the children they fathered and their families at risk, and that it increases the prejudices against the plaintiff and her children.
What?
I don't understand all these court rulings.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. You know, I guess with a father and son, like I don't know, sperm center hopping, like you can doctor a shop
All over Quebec.
Yeah.
Skate, 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 skate. And that's what we call I'm Just a Kid. This is the perfect time to tell you about Alabama Men's Clinic.
Of course it is.
Yes, sirree. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. You're not going to be donating to any spank bank if you can't even get it going, man. I mean, at the end of the day, John Bird, you look uncomfortable. I'm telling the truth, though.
I know, it was just your description there. I mean,
yeah.
it rhymed. It was very clever.
Yeah, I meant sperm bank. I didn't mean.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
But really, at the end of the day, this is a serious issue that affects men all across the board, not just old men. You know, you think about ED and you're like, well, you got to be an old guy to have ED. That's not true these days. They've put so much crap in our food and water and everything else. It causes health problems for people that are even younger, maybe 50, 40, 30-year-olds. I mean, there's been cases of 20-year-olds that are suffering from problems in the bedroom, and they don't know why. And it's quite embarrassing for people that don't understand what's going on. That's the beauty of Alabama Men's Clinic, is because they help you understand what's going on and give you real solutions that fix those problems. A lot of times it tracks back to low testosterone. They can get that fixed, man. They do more of that than you can even imagine. They have treatments that they can keep going for you for as long as you want. They can not just fix something like ED, but enhance your performance. If you feel like you're lacking in some areas and you want that extra boost, or you want that extra, you know what I'm saying? They can help you with that as well, man. They got so many different treatments, and there's one for you out there if you're suffering from this. Again, don't be ashamed or embarrassed. These guys are true professionals. Jeremy and the rest of those guys, man, they're so good at what they do. And last time I went in there, they just make it so comfortable, and it's not it's not weird or anything like that. They're just out there helping men. That's what they've been called to do, and they're making it happen. So here's what you need to do. You can set an appointment on the website. Go to AlabamaMen'sClinic.com, set an appointment there, or call them. Just make sure you remember to let them know I sent you. 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. And again, online, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. Betty just texted in. She said, I just left my first session with Mandu, and I'm looking forward to my next. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I love to hear. Ross says identical twins have the same DNA. He says, I have triplets.
Wow.
Okay, well.
Got a new wrinkle in my brain.
That's right.
Something I never knew.
Dave Jones says that brings a new meaning. Would you like to donate a pint? Boy, if you got a pint to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Noto Roofing, N-O-T-O roofing.com. One more time, N-O-T-O roofing.com. Our roofing guys, Chris and Sammy and Matt and all the guys over there, dude, they just, I want to, outside of talking about how great and wonderful they are, I want to thank them for supporting this show, the way they have. I mean, they're a big part of why we continue to be able to do what we do. And so I can't thank them enough. And then also thank them for how they treat you guys and how they take care of y'all. They're very big on that. When they hear that, when you call and you ask for that free roof inspection and they hear that you've heard about it on the line, they're on it, man. They take care of you guys. So reach out to them. Remember, free roof inspection, complimentary roof tune-up, 205-848-2299. That's 205-848-2299 and online, notoroofing.com. notoroofing.com. All right, we're out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go get me some Mandu on, and Trish is mentioning opening the pool up.
Oh, dang. I can't wait to come over.
I know.
It's going to be the best. Hey, let Caleb and Mandu know that I'm going to be calling him this afternoon, just a little bit.
Got you covered. Thank y'all, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll do it again tomorrow, 10 a.m. sharp, Central Time, obviously. And until next time, see you, Cut!